Y nuestro trabajo principal es el de promover la vida. Tomamos los votos tradicionales de pobreza, castidad y obediencia, pero también tomamos un cuarto voto para proteger y promover la dignidad de la persona humana. Así que nuestros trabajos, más que todo, como dije, son para promover y proteger la vida. En Manhattan tenemos un convento donde viven mujeres embarazadas y en necesidad. También tenemos un servicio de teléfono donde mamás, mujeres embarazadas nos llaman y nosotras les conseguimos todo el apoyo que necesitan. Tenemos un centro de retiro en Connecticut donde damos retiros de diferentes temas. Y varias de nuestras hermanas tienen el privilegio de trabajar con mujeres y hombres que han sufrido por la decisión de abortar. Hoy, este día que celebramos la misericordia del Señor, es un día perfecto para recordarles si alguien aquí ha sufrido este dolor y sigue sufriendo, que la misericordia del Señor es infinita y el amor lo perdona todo. Así que si usted carga ese dolor o si alguien que usted conoce carga ese dolor, sepa que hay ayuda y hay esperanza, que el Señor sana todo hasta lo que creemos que es imposible. Bueno, así como les dije al principio, solo quería presentarnos y nuestro website es sistersoflife.org si necesitan saber más de nosotras. También tenemos información atrás y ahora la hermana Bethany Madonna les va a hablar un poquito más. Mucho gusto y cualquier cosa, ya saben, estamos a la orden.
No puedo hablar en español. Pero mi hermano, pues, Good afternoon to all of you. It is a joy. It is such a joy and a privilege to be with you. We have heard about Corazon Puro, and it has made our Corazon go crazy. We are so happy to hear. Like, I almost wept when I saw that board in the back in the website. Like, it's amazing that I'm keeping myself together, because this does our hearts so much good, and you would not believe how you console Jesus. You definitely console Jesus with your love for Him and your witness and the way that you're striving for holiness. It's very beautiful to witness. Whew, I'm going to keep it together. Say a little prayer for me. I wanted to start off talking today about our Holy Father, Pope John Paul II, and I wanted to bring his words to you, what he was saying to you. And I'm going to begin with a quote, and then kind of give a little reflection about mercy, and then close with a story from a woman whom we served in our apostolates that I think would be a good witness of mercy. So close your eyes for a second. This is our Holy Father, John Paul II, speaking to you. It is Jesus, in fact, that you seek when you dream of happiness. He is waiting for you when nothing else you find satisfies you. He is the beauty to which you are so attracted. It is He who provokes you with that thirst for fullness that will not let you settle for compromise. It is He who urges you to shed the masks of a false life. It is He who reads in your hearts your most genuine choices, the choices that others try to stifle. It is Jesus who stirs in you the desire to do something great with your lives, the will to follow an ideal, the courage to commit yourselves humbly and patiently to improving yourselves and society, making the world more human and more fraternal. So John Paul II, he called to us, he called out to us, he invited us, he drew us, and he made us a proposal. And that proposal was this: Jesus Christ is the answer to every one of your life's questions. Jesus Christ is the satisfaction and the fulfillment to every desire that your heart has. He knows them all because He placed them there in order to fulfill them. This is Jesus. It is Jesus you dream about when you dream about what it means to be happy. He's the one that you seek. He is the one that you seek. In a world that tells us who we should be, what we should look like, what we need to have, in order to be valuable, in order for our lives to be meaningful. In a world that has a lot of ideas that are false, that are filled with illusions of happiness, that are fake, Jesus is our identity. Jesus is our identity. This has been the latest kind of like explosion of my heart. The fact that we are called the sons and daughters of God. The sons and daughters of God. God's sons and daughters. This is a scandal to other religions. This is shocking that we would say that. Yeah, I'm God's daughter. He's my father, and I'm his daughter. Scandal. Scandal. One of our sisters tells a cute story. When she was little, she had a next door neighbor who practiced a non-Christian faith. And one day they were talking about God with one another. And this neighbor, little boy, he's like, my God is so big, he can do anything. He can do everything. And my sister goes, my God is also, he can also do everything and anything. And they said, wow, we both believe that. And she's like, yeah, I believe my God can even become small. And he was like, no. No, he's like, God can't become small. She's like, yes, he can. He can do anything. You know, one of those little kids like, you're not coming to my birthday party anymore. But it's like, that little boy looked at her and he's like, God cannot become small. That is not God. And that sister knew in her heart of hearts that Jesus was God, who humbled himself and came down to us, came down to our level, knew what it meant to be tired and thirsty and exhausted. You know, what it meant to be wounded, abandoned, what it meant to be caressed tenderly by his mother, you know, what it meant to have friends and to laugh. Jesus knows our experiences, but that was too much for this little boy. God cannot do that. And to become small and vulnerable in the Blessed Sacrament, to be placed on our tongues and in our hands, this was too much that a God would do that. Impossible. This is our fate. This is our fate. It's incredible to be called God's chosen ones. And we remember, that's what Jesus said to Mary Magdalene. He said, go and tell my brothers that I am going to my Father and to your Father, my God and your God. These are the men who had jumped ship. They'd run away. They denied him. And Jesus is calling them my brothers. My brothers. It's a great privilege. And yet for some reason, this isn't our point of reference all the time. A lot of times we associate who we are and our identity with our sinfulness. It's shocking. You know, it's like, I am this weakness. I am this failing. I always have had this. It's always there. I'll never get over it. I'll never get away from it. You know, or even the shame of our past sins. You know, we still let it scourge us. I hate that I did that, and that now defines me. I hate this thing that I cannot undo and have to suffer the effects from, you know. Sometimes we think that's who we are, but that is not who we are. Do you know who John Paul II said we are? I'll tell you. John Paul brought us the gospel in living color. It was like an IMAX theater when John Paul spoke about Jesus. I mean, surround sound, vivid color, everything, the whole screen. And this is what he said about our identity, our origin, and our destiny. He said this: